I won, so it was really great. My name is Rita and I come from Portugal. I am a 21 years old girl who studied design in Lisbon. I started doing an internship in a printing company to write a text for Intergraph competition. And I thought about it because when you participate on something, you think about winning, but it's always a dream. And so I wasn't expecting at all. We participants had to answer some questions about how we see the print industry developing and what can the industry do to attract more young people. And I must tell you that at the time I participate, I was working for 2 months in this company. I can tell you that I'm not an expert, but I know about young people and I know some things about technology. So I think that's maybe what I reflected on how I see the future of printing. So when I finished my degree, it was last year. So quarantine, I needed to find a job and it was really hard. I was getting some interest in communication design and this was definitely knowledge that I could benefit from because, you know, as you said, the relationship is very tight. And I had a friend who is the granddaughter of my current boss, and that's how I got to do this internship. But I never really expected to continue in the print industry because I don't see, until this happening, I don't saw growth opportunities. I feel like most of it is an image problem. And even though there are, of course, some parts of the industry that are very developed, there are still a lot of traditional companies, and that's my experience, and that's the only thing I can talk about because that's where I live in. It's an image problem to me because no one is expressing that this industry is actually high-tech or developed in that way. And you can look at, the front line of the industry and you see only like older people. Yeah, not like Google or Facebook, and that's what I feel like my generation is looking for. I feel like, yeah, even though we have a lot of options, we are still a generation of unemployed people. And that's, I think, because maybe we're looking for, as you say, more fun things. Because at the time of my parents, you would get to this factory when you were 14 and you would get stuck there. And I don't think we want that. So that's probably why we're also not looking for industries like this. If this industry is getting more and more automated, we won't fit in there. It's not really about having a mini goal for a football. It's more about the mindset, having these places to just chill a bit. And sometimes I'm in the company because it's a 9 to 6 p.m. work job. And sometimes we don't have work and we just have to pretend we're doing something. My generation is pretty much about, we care about inclusivity and those kind of differences. I feel like my generation is a bit of a generation of activists, which I feel like it's great. Maybe the industry has to comprehend that also and address that. And I also talk about this in my text. That's the thing that happens a lot, mostly in Portugal. That's my reality, is that no one is able to give a voice to young people because they don't know nothing. They never worked, that mindset is awful. So this to me was great. And what I said when I reacted to this is that I've always wanted to be some sort of a voice in whatever matter. And Intergraph gave me that voice, and you're giving me that voice. And I think that's really, really, really important because we have some things to say. I will finish my internship, as I said to you already, and I will hopefully continue to study. And if it happens, if more opportunities happen here, I will definitely think about it, but I'm not thinking about continuing this industry. I feel like, to be honest, my text was a bit naive because I don't really know the industry, but I'm really glad I won, and I would love to discuss that with you because I know you don't agree with many things I have said. uh, I have shown my text to some parents and friends, to my parents and some friends, and they laughed a lot with those dead drones joke I made. But I feel like that's really the future. I have some friends who won a competition also, a tech competition, and their project was powered by Vodafone, and it was about delivering home delivered with drones. And they're 21 also, so they will be the ones, and I will be the one constructing that future.